basic things like common definitions, terminology, like we really need to centralize that so everyone's talking about the same language. My name is Michael Leering. I'm the Director of Environment and Business Excellence Standards at the Canadian Standards Association, or CSA Group. So I oversee all of our national standards work on things like natural resources and bioeconomy. So I'm really excited to be here at Scaling Up.
For anybody who doesn't understand the connection between standards and the bioeconomy, can you maybe fill us in a bit and maybe tell us why you're here?
Yeah, well, we're here to help to support and mobilize the bioeconomy in Canada and help to really spur innovation and support it overall. Things we've done in the past already, like a tangible example is we've helped to support, the movement of lignin and the utilization of lignin as a bioproduct from the forest industry.
Yeah.
And our role has been in that to play standardization of the laboratory analysis methods for how you evaluate the properties of lignins themselves. So we're not standardizing lignin itself, but we're actually helping to support the standardization of the processes of evaluation so that across the country, when you analyze it, it's done consistently throughout the country.
And the CSA has been coming to Scaling Up for several years. I've met some of your colleagues, I think, in the last couple of years. What does the bioeconomy represent for the CSA? Because it is somewhat disjointed, I could say. There's the fuel side, there's the forestry side, there's the manufacturing, the innovation. It's complex.
Yeah, the Canadian Standards Association is really unique in its breadth and depth as far as supporting all the economic sectors here in Canada, from the Canadian Electrical Code to our well-known standards on hockey helmet safety. We really run the gambit, and I think we've been coming to bioeconomy and scaling up, or we're supporting bioeconomy at Scaling Up, because across those different industries that we support, there's a lot of momentum towards supporting bioeconomy. You think of the natural resources sector and the forestry areas, but then also agriculture. And we're starting to see, and from research and investments of what we've been working towards, this kind of systems level change that's needed to really help mobilize the bioeconomy across the industrial sectors. So we really feel strongly that standards can play a foundational supporting role towards the overall bioeconomy success in Canada. So that's really where we've really tried to increase our presence here and increase our awareness of how standards can help play a role for bioeconomy itself.
So what are you working on in terms of standards that specifically pertains to the bioeconomy and its different, let's say, niches?
Well, we've been investing both in standards development, but also research, and we've just published a public policy paper on how standards can help to support the bioeconomy itself. We've published research on the siting of biorefineries, which is really important as far as where to situate biorefineries in Canada to make the highest impact. Our new standardization activities include a new national standard on the most basic pieces of things like common terms and definitions and terminology, phraseology within the bioeconomy, because we found, again, across industry verticals, there wasn't a consistent language and terminology jargon. So we are now bringing together a group of experts to evaluate and bring together the common definitions for the bioeconomy itself. We're also developing a new standard on the traceability chain of custody of bioproducts and biomaterials, so that we can, again, continue to help mobilize and support the standard side of where, I think that there's current gaps and deficiencies on traceability and chain of custody of bioproduct.
Really interesting. I wonder if this isn't also about competitiveness for Canada as a country to have a certain level of standards that are well defined, that support these industries that you're talking about right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
How does Canada kind of compete globally in terms of standards?
Well, I think domestically we're pretty strong as far as some standardization. I would maybe refer back to the lignin example, where we've helped to mobilize this innovative byproduct of the bioeconomy, and importantly, I think we've been successful at taking the Canadian national standards and having them as a seed to international standards. So many will be familiar with ISO, the International Organization for Standardization, and it's actually been the Canadian national standards from CSA and the experts here within Canada that had founded the international standards on lignin on kind of a one-for-one comparative. So we've taken this leadership in Canada and brought it into the international sphere with support from actors like FP Innovations, who have also played a supporting and direct convening role at the international table as well.
Very interesting. What kind of conversations are you having here, and what are you trying to achieve while being at this conference?
Well, Today, we're trying to really establish the roadmap and raise awareness, quite frankly, on the role that standards can play. I don't think that standards will be the entirety of the solution, but basic things like common definitions, terminology, like we really need to centralize that so everyone's talking about the same language, and bringing together even international definitions and other areas that have already kind of started to work on these things. Is the foundation, but then it becomes an awareness building exercise of trying to make sure that people understand how standards are developed by bringing experts together, convening and developing the consensus on what the requirements of any given standard is, and then moving forward into that. And now we're trying to investigate new areas to move forward with.
Yeah, the CSA has been a participant and I believe a partner and a supporter of this conference for, like I said, several years. What does this conference represent specifically for the industry in Canada?
I think this conference specifically represents, the momentum building of this bioeconomy industry itself. It's a really unique and important conference that I think brings together, the leading minds to mobilize, thoughts into actions. As far as it being, the right people at the right time. It's also located in Ottawa, which is helpful to have, the federal partners here as well, and the regulatory side of things. But it's just a really good group to get together, to share ideas, network, and mobilize really the next steps.
Any words for Jeff as he celebrates 10 years of scaling up, which is, I think, according to many we've interviewed here, a significant achievement in and of itself.
Yeah, Jeff is a mobilizer of action, and I have the highest regard and compliments and congratulations to Jeff on his 10-year anniversary. I've been coming here personally for a handful of years now. I can't say I've been here since the first one. But again, it's just really a great, powerful group of individuals that are mobilizing change within this sector. And we're really just so proud and happy to be supportive of it. And yeah, I definitely congratulate Jeff on 10 years within this area.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it.